Hey guys, one of the solutions you can do to help with your neck pain is I tend to suggest people either get a desk that is variable or moving, okay? Something I can do here that's a little bit cheaper, a little bit easier, is I'm just stacking a few books to get it in eye level, okay? So one of my rules of thumb is you make an imaginary X along your screen, and ideally your nose should meet right in the middle of that, okay? Same thing kind of needs to happen with the phone. We kind of live in this world here. Ideally, we bring it up to us so that we have that directly in front of us. It creates a neutral posture for our neck, takes a little bit of pressure off those nerves and those muscles that are working really hard to keep it up. Hey guys, another solution for your neck pain is I want us to think about the lifestyle we kind of live in. We tend to live in this kind of world here, whether it's on our phone or looking down on our computer. Something very simple is I call this a reset. We're just balancing out the ratio. So we're just going to do some extension, okay? How I tend to do this is I will take a hold of the base of my neck here. I'm going to pull down. As I do that, I take head back. Okay? Pretty easy. You can also do it standing. So if sitting is necessarily the problem, I tend to get people to stand up. And I go thumbs back, head back, okay? What I usually prescribe is I give people 10 times about every half hour to an hour. Again, the reason why we're doing this is we're balancing out the ratio between living in this world and getting nice and back to neutral, okay? Try it out. Hey guys, another solution for neck pain that you're maybe experiencing throughout the day is I typically find a correlation between your job or your habits and how that might create or manifest some of the pain you might be experiencing. So a lot of it has to do with sitting or standing or being in a repetitive posture for an extended period of time. The way that I explain it to people is the easiest solution is just to get up and move around and be doing what you're doing, okay? So it's just literally as easy as this right here, okay? And one of the reasons why I explain that is because a lot of the nerves, muscles, and tissues, they crave movement. And the reason that is because they want blood flow. If we're not moving as much, we get a little bit static, blood flow is not circulating through our body. So simply getting up about every 30 minutes to an hour can help fend off some of the pain you might be experiencing as well. Try it out.
All right, guys, so here we have another compromised neck position. This is the same flexion that we live in when we're on our phone, when our computer height isn't adjusted, etc., etc. So again, what we want to try to do is relieve this chin to chest position while we're laying on the couch, hanging out on the weekends or in our beds, reading a book. And let's readjust those pillows so that way we sit in a little bit more of an upright position to further relieve that pressure and that tension and that stretch off of the back of the neck. All right, guys, we can use the handy lacrosse ball to help relieve some of this tissue in the back of the neck that's normally overloaded during this forward head posture that we tend to live in. So we can take the lacrosse ball, set it just below the ridge of the skull, and we're going to use this arm to keep it stationary. Find that ridge just below it on the outside of the spine, and then we're going to take our head and apply some pressure and just look left to right about 3 to 4 inches while keeping that pressure. And that's going to help relieve some of that tissue and provide a little bit of extra blood flow to those overtaxed muscles in the back of the neck. All right, another form of self-myofascial release that we can use to further facilitate that healing and that blood flow in the neck is just going to be our hand, right? So we're going to take and start by shortening our ear to our shoulder and then head back slightly. We're going to use our hand as a scoop, reach in just above that shoulder blade, and as I pull into my own body with the scoop, I'm going to take my head and look down and away as I'm pulling. And I can do multiple reps of that. Same release. Again, this is all adjustable to your pressure and your tolerance. It may be tender and sensitive, and that's exactly what we're trying to reduce. We're trying to get the blood flow in there so that way there is less sensitivity and pain.